Well, good Friday morning, everybody, and it is an on-the-road edition of the Daily Devotion, except for I'm not actually on the road. I'm in the parking lot over in Ogden, sitting outside their community building, which is a beautiful community building if you've never been over here. Gail's setting up inside for a show that she's working today with the rug hooking ladies that they come over here once a year and have a big hook in or whatever they call it, and Gail comes over and shows her bags and takes framing orders and whatnot. As I said yesterday, Gail does a lot of framing of rugs for the people that do the rug hooking all around the Midwest, really. So any rate, today it is Friday, and it's a beautiful Friday. The sun's just popped out, so I might be really being washed out sun-wise on this side of my face. I see all the age and the wrinkles over there, so I apologize for that. But it is October 15th, and we are going to be looking at the 6th chapter of John today. Verses 22 to 34 is what we're going to be looking at. Pretty big chunk here that we've got today. So let's dive right in, shall we? The next day, the crowd that had stayed on the other side of the sea saw that there had been only one boat there. They also saw that Jesus had not gotten into the boat with his disciples, but that his disciples had gone away alone. Then some boats from Tiberias came near the place where they had eaten the bread after the Lord had given thanks. So when the crowd saw that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they themselves got into the boats and went to Capernaum looking for Jesus. When they found him on the other side of the sea, they said to him, "Rabbi, when did you come here?" Jesus answered them, "Very truly I tell you, you are looking for me, not because you saw signs, but because you ate your fill of the loaves. Do not work for the food that perishes, but for the food that endures for eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you. For it is on him that God the Father has set his seal." Then they said to him, "What must we do to perform the works of God?" Jesus answered them, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent." So they said to him, "What sign are you going to give us then, so that we may see it and believe you? What work are you performing? Our ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat." Then Jesus said to them, "Very truly I tell you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven, but it is my Father who gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." They said to him, "Sir, give us this bread always." Okay. Well, remember, this follows up right after the feeding of the 5,000 and walking on the water. And the crowd has realized that the disciples have left. Perhaps some of them talked to some of the crowd so that they knew that they were going to Capernaum. But at any rate, it's just like a small town. Can't keep a secret. They've gone to Capernaum, and now these boats happen to have come by from Tiberias, and so they hitchhike, as they might say, a ride across over to Capernaum. Let's get across the Sea of Galilee over to Capernaum. And there they go looking for Jesus, and they find him. And of course, what they are requesting from him, it seems, is they're requesting from him, "Hey, you know that trick you did about making all those few loaves of bread into a whole lot?" This is one of the things that would make us believe that rather than being a movement of generosity and charity on the behalf of the people, that this was actually a supernatural thing. Because of that, I would be more inclined to lean that way because of this part that's coming here. You know that trick you did, Jesus, where you got a lot out of little? We'd like to know that trick. Can you teach it to us? We want to know that perform the works of God, the works of God of multiplying the loaves. That's what I think they're saying to them. And Jesus is like, "Oh man, come on. Don't you understand what was going on? That this sign was given so that you might believe who I am, rather than just to merely feed you for a day, because we're wrapped up on this daily bread. Even in the Lord's Prayer, we seem to be focused on the daily bread, when I have a whole sermon about what that word that is translated as daily probably really means. Probably isn't daily. Probably means super substantial. Probably really means Jesus. It's really focusing towards the Lord's Prayer. I think is focusing towards what's going on here in John. And of course, we don't have the Lord's Prayer in John. But I think it's the same emphasis that Jesus is the bread of life, and that this is super substantial bread, this bread that feeds us for eternity rather than feeding us for a day. Being concerned about, from one day to the next, that's not what that's not what it's about. It's about the eternal life that Jesus is saying. But they really slyly go, "Well, Okay, well then, if you're not going to show us, maybe you could do that trick one more time. What have you done for us lately, kind of a thing. You remember that trick you did the other day? Can you do it again? Because, like manna from heaven, like God gave, and Jesus says, no, the manna that God sent down is truly me, is what he's getting at. So that's the inference, and that's what we're going to pick up in verse 35, to be honest. So we will leave that for Monday when we start talking about that. But here, these people are not seeing the big picture. They're just really coming up short, sadly to say. They just don't understand, and they want a trick. Show us the trick. Unfortunately, we have a nature as human beings to want to just have somebody take care of us rather than being, taking care of ourselves, kind of a thing. Jesus will take care of us for eternity, but he's not here to do parlor tricks for us. That's not what Jesus is about. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. Like I said, we'll come back Monday. Don't forget, we got a big weekend. Tomorrow we start the sale of the concert tickets. If you want a concert ticket, you can either message me if you're on Facebook, message me on Facebook, or message the church on Facebook, or call the church number, leave a message on that church answering machine is my phone number. If you want to call my cell, you can do that. Or there is an email address for the church for the ticket sales specifically. Don't send it to the regular church email. Send it to this ticket sales email, which is wccticketsales@hotmail.com, and request however many tickets you want, and then I will contact you back on that. And you can either, if you're local, you can pay by check or by cash. If you want to charge it, I'll tell you how to do that there. I'll email you an invoice that you can pay online for the ticket. Okay, that's all very clean cut and easy. All right, but with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a very blessed day. Enjoy it. It's a very nice fall morning here in Iowa. God bless you, and please be a blessing to someone today. See you all later. Bye-bye.